Like, she was a daddy's girl, but were you a girl dad?
Oh. Now that's the question.
Hello?
Now we go. We got the tea and a theory. We got the tea and a theory. We got the tea, what? And a theory. We got the tea and a theory. And we're rolling.
Hi!
We're back.
We're literally back from like 1975, yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Y'all missed us so bad.
And we see y'all still been interacting. We appreciate you. We appreciate you spreading the message. Literally. We're growing.
We are.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you guys for sticking around if you're watching this, girl.
You know.
But we did need that break. I'm not gonna lie to you.
We needed the time.
We did need that.
We, for us to be able to come back refreshed and ready to give y'all the tea and the theory.
Okay.
We needed that time. We did need to
lay down. Like, yeah, like we've been through it.
No, literally. We've coughed.
We've sniffed.
We've shivered.
Girl, sweat ached. Wow.
We've been tested.
Jesus. No, literally, we've been interviewed. Like, girls.
People have been coming for us left and right, but we are back.
We've been trying to die. Bob and weave.
Our best.
Influenza A, girl, you had hands. But you know who else got hands? My immune system. And big G.O.D., man.
Hey,
yeah,
man.
Period. She did try to take me out. Wow. No, like...
No, when you told me, you were like, yeah, I got the flu. I said, oh. I was like, oh. You're like, yeah, no, I'm not okay. I'm not.
I literally did my first internship interview, which was 4 hours, but it was great. It was so fun. Laid on my couch, and I'm texting Hannah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, girl, let's go to the gym. I'm laying on the couch. I keep falling asleep.
Oh.
I said...
Not you trying your best.
Immediately, I'm just so exhausted. I go take my shower, go lay down in bed. All of a sudden, my body aches.
Oh, well.
All of a sudden, I'm really chilly. And then I'm sweating. My head hurt. The back of my neck hurting.
Oh.
I said, that is the cost of being outside, though.
It is.
We was outside before
we
that.
were outside before that. Because after you got the flu, then I got a sore throat. And it was like I had a sore throat. It got a little scratchy. The sore throat went away.
Yeah.
And then I go to externship. I'm like, okay, I'm good now. My throat stopped being scratchy. I'm talking regular, or my voice is coming back. Like we're good. And then I'm at externship. It just starts to get scratchy again as I'm there. And then I start losing my voice. And now next thing you know, I'm calling a client that's supposed to come into the office, and I'm like, girl, please stay at home. I'm going to send you a link and we're going to hop on telehealth.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I do not want you to get sick.
You shouldn't have what I have.
You should not have what I have. I don't know what I got, and I don't know why what's happening is happening, but it is. Jesus. Eventually we got through it.
Yeah.
Eventually it came back. My voice came back.
Yeah.
Because And
whoever infected me at Double D's, what I wish upon your household, I can't even see on camera. During my internship interviewing, how rude.
No, because mind you, that's when you had most of your interviews.
Girl, I literally was like, I'm such a genius. I'm gonna have all my interviews in 1 week. I'm gonna eat it up, and then I'll have a week left to just kind of relax and ease into the semester. Yeah. Plot twist. Not even. I was in interviews like, oh. Right. Oh. A time when a supervisor has been really impactful. I'll try my best. But yeah. But we're back. I might cough during this. I'm sorry. But
it's just part of the recovery. Because I definitely still have to clear my throat every so often.
No, literally.
Y'all will think I'm just saying something really important.
Yeah.
Just gearing up for it.
Yes. Just imagine that that's what's happening.
Exactly.
Because that is what's happening.
Don't think anything else about it.
Yep. So, period.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was kind of our check-in.
That was our check-in.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Living life.
Exactly. You know,
Doing it big.
we here. It's about to get cold.
Oh God! Sorry.
We're
sorry.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know where we are in Texas. Texas is not built for the cold.
Not at all.
We are not built for cold weather, ice storms, snow. None of that. So, and it's happening over the weekend. So naturally, you are not going outside. Everybody needs to sit down. And Texas has their own personal groundhog by the name of Ted Cruz.
Yes.
He did hop on a plane and go to Laguna Beach. So the last time that happened,
people literally, no joke, died.
People literally died.
So
his constituents. So, you see Ted on a plane when he takes flight.
Yeah. When he leaves,
we're in trouble.
Just know is something nasty coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't mind a snow day.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that people have been like, this is the worst. This is historically going to be. I was like, history? I don't want to make history with y'all. I don't.
No, because we've made history so many times.
So many times.
I'm tired.
I'm so please.
There's gonna be a chapter just about our lives at this point.
Yeah.
in the books, if they weren't taking out history and history books. But maybe in the future, when they regain all this knowledge and stuff, there will be chapters about all the history that was made during the 2000s.
My God, today.
Because we're only on year 26 and 2000. That's fine.
All you boys who finna be in A-Bush, when they start asking questions about this era, girls,
good luck.
Good luck. Because A-Bush was fun, girl. Because A-Bush was not fun then. As someone who took A-Bush, I hated A-Bush. Well, actually, no. It might be interesting because there are, despite it being crazy, horrible, terrifying, frightening things happening, it's also insane that all these things just keep and the levels of super villain are just kind of wow. That's so interesting that all of this is happening.
Because you really can turn into a story, because even just that COVID, that first year, murder hornets.
Yeah.
What?
What was that? A countdown of or not a countdown, a count up? A tally of people who are dying every day on your TV?
Yeah. Yeah. The aliens, we found out extraterrestrials existed and all of this. So class will be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot more interesting than Great Depression. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a little bit more there.
Yes.
But
yeah. Good luck, y'all.
You got it.
Like I say.
Ask your grandma.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
So this week, we do have an in memoriam again. I know it's been a while, and I'm glad it's been a while.
Yeah.
But our in memoriam is also serving as our icon of the week.
Yes.
So I had not heard of this wonderful, wonderful woman, and if you have not heard of her either, let me tell you. So Miss Gladys West is truly a gem of a hidden figure. If y'all watch the movies, y'all know she's very much, she could have been in there too. So she passed away Saturday, January 17th at the age of 95 years old. And she was a technologist and mathematician in her time. Excuse me. And her creations was key to the development of the GPS. So the global positioning system, the thing that gets us from point A to point B every single day.
I just used it.
Exactly. Yes. When you hit up Google or Waze and you're like, I got to get to where I'm going. We wouldn't be doing that without this woman here. And when I tell you, when I think about what life would have been like, having to pull out the maps like my parents had to do,
girl,
and stop at the gas station and they get them a map and they're like, okay, we got to get to Orlando. I would not. I wouldn't be the traveler I am, because I won't be going nowhere, baby.
Girl, mind you, people don't read signs when they're driving today.
Oh no.
So imagine people gotta
Exactly. And I got to pay attention to the signs on the side of the road.
I just don't have it in me.
I got to watch the other cars because, mind you, again, we are in Texas. We've seen how people here drive.
Yeah.
Now you want...
I feel like moments like that is when, first of all, shout out to Miss Gladys West, because with her, I get to be a womanist because I do get to drive myself around. Yep. However, had Miss Gladys West not put that together, baby, I would have had to find me a man. I would have had to find me a man. Girl, I am not girl, please. Okay. No, ma'am. I already driving to Dallas. Look, going, who checks it is that? Imagine I had to, girl, please. Yeah, girl. Child. I would have been married at 15. No shade. Because I cannot.
Because where am I going? And I need a map.
Driving hard enough.
It's hard enough. I don't want to think about like, oh, there's a tree that there's supposed to be 3 trees lined up here, and that's when I'm supposed to turn right. And people can't give directions.
Child.
So even if you just ask somebody for directions and they're trying to give you landmarks, they're still wrong.
Girl.
And they think they know what they're talking about, and they don't.
You got to read the legend, honey.
Exactly. So now I'm see, and that's the other thing, because I remember in going back to our geography classes and them trying to like, okay, if you measure this much, this is what the legend is telling you in the distance. That was never my ministry.
It's just not.
It's not. So I am so grateful for this woman who grew up in the South during the Jim Crow era, worked on a tobacco farm with her family, but was so exceptional at school that she was like, no, this kind of thing that I'm about to pursue.
Yeah.
She went to an HBCU. At the time, it was Virginia State College. Now it's Virginia State University.
Nice.
She got a bachelor's in mathematics, a master's in mathematics. Then she went and got another master's in public administration. And then she, at the age of 70, she said, I'm not done. I'm going to get me a doctorate.
My God, today.
Black women. And I also would be remiss if I did not mention that she is a soror Kiwi. So, thank you, Miss Gladys West. And please, 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 I pray that you get rest in peace now.
Yes.
Because you have left your mark on this world.
Sure have, Dee. Thank you. Can't thank you enough.
Not enough.
Oh my God, where would I be? Literally.
No, physically. Where would I be?
So thank you, Miss West.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't know if you've heard, since we are on the topic of Icon of the Week. Some movie has 16 award nominations.
Oh, and I heard it was historical. Like they made history with this amount of nominations for this one movie.
Right.
What was it called again?
What was it? Angels?
Heavens?
The
Irish are coming.
Like, was it Vampire's Diary?
Oh, that doesn't feel right.
Was it Sinners? My peoples. Like exactly.
And he did that.
They did
that.
Michael B. Jordan
did that.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan did that.
Wunmi Mosaku girl
did that.
Hello? Delroy Lindo, like,
child.
Thank you.
They was in there. Even Cornbread.
No, like, all of y'all
was in there.
Period. What did Issa Rae say? I'm rooting for everybody black.
And I am.
And I am. All the costume designers, like, Miles Canton, girl, I almost forgot you. Listen at me.
Child.
I almost forgot Jamie, girl. At Perlene. Like, all of y'all, like, 16. I know y'all gagged. I didn't gag because I knew it was coming. I knew somebody had to, like, be honest about, like, how groundbreaking that movie was.
Because that was an amazing movie. Like, that was a cinematic masterpiece. There was so much thought. There was story. There was visuals, music, every plot. It took us on a journey. Beauty. History.
Culture. Like, come on now. I know none of y'all other movies thought y'all was finna take y'all was finna take out Sinners.
Please.
Not
in the year of our 2026.
not in maybe next year. If he decide he don't want to pull out another movie on y'all.
Exactly.
But maybe not this go around.
Not this go around.
I'm just very happy that all the people who have worked on Sinners are getting their things because they deserve
everything. Literally everything.
Brian Coog, girl.
Child.
Oh, girl. Oh, I can't even. Everybody involved in that movie, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hold my hand. I love you. Brian Coogler, I have a small kiss that I want to place on your forehead. A very gentle one and a very respectful one because you have a wife and kids, you know? But I have to,
you know,
my God, today. So, I had to sneak that in there because
I love it.
My Sinners. Oh, I love y'all. What a movie. That was a good time.
Such a good time.
I love that. Anyways, yes.
So, girl, what we talking about this week?
Oh, girl. Tea flavor this week. Ooh. You talk about 10-year-old gold diggers.
Oh. Mind you, 10-year-old and gold digger. I don't even think those things can go together.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Because
it really don't make sense.
It doesn't. You know? But, you guys. Okay. So, let's talk about it, y'all. So, if you haven't heard, Shannon Sharpe, unfortunately, has an interview with comedian Ryan Davis on his podcast, show, whatever, called Club Shay Shay. Where in a part of the interview, Ryan talks about in the interview he's talking about a lot of different things, you know, his life, you know, how he's gotten to where he is, his career, but then spends a great deal talking about his relationships and his family, and it seems like work that he's done to understand himself and others and relationships, right? And so a part of that, and I say a part because I didn't watch the full interview because I can only take so much of from Shannon kind of Sharp, you know? So I can never do too much of Shannon Sharpe. I'm so sorry. It's just so very Dr. It's very Eddie Murphy. It's very Scooby-Doo. It's so you'll have a thought and it has the potential to be a thought-provoking, maybe groundbreaking, just conversation pushing thought that an interviewee will have, and he'll just go, oh, we're that crazy, and I'm just like, God, let's move on. You're right. No, you're so sure. Right. Anyways, enough about Shannon. But a part of the interview is Ryan Davis talking about his relationship with his eldest daughter, and eldest daughter as in a 10-year-old. And starts to talk about how he has noticed kind of his daughter was a daddy's girl and seeing kind of this change of her. Let me see, I have it written down. You know, initially she was a daddy's girl, big time, who wanted to be around me all the time and just be on me and cuddling all the time, to suddenly she started looking at me as access to material things. All right. So then Shannon says, yeah, all of a sudden you're dead. You're an ATM. And so then Davis says, it broke me. Okay. And so from there, people have really kind of taken off, and it's been kind of a really big conversation online, because another part of that clip that Club Shay Shay or Shannon Sharpe and his team posted is a picture of Davis and his daughter, his 10-year-old minor daughter that he is any of this. who he has now referred to as someone who just wants to be around him to get material things, right? Y'all already know how people be feeling about black girls, black women online. No shade, okay? To then, post a picture so we can all see what your daughter look like. right? If we see her in the street, we can go. They go to the 10-year-old gold digger. Okay. So yeah, so that's opened up a lot of conversation about like, okay, referring to or talking about like your child only reaching out to you for material things, which a lot of people have then kind of said it kind of gave the vibe that he was trying to refer to his child, his 10-year-old daughter. I have to keep saying it because it's kind of crazy. It was like a gold digger. And I think initial thoughts, I feel like for me, I had to sit with it for a little bit. I think my initial reaction was, this is so crazy. And I also think that like, I don't even know if I have the words for this, but it's like, I think that that's a good conversation to have. But I think he should have had it with his therapist.
Yes.
Which I'm sure he has, because he talked a lot about like doing a lot of internal work. But I think that's a conversation that you have with a therapist. But also on the flip side, I can also see how we do need to see these kind of conversations, especially from like Black fathers. But we need nuance and context because it's so easy to take off on this. Yeah. Because my initial reaction was, I know why. I know why she only wants to talk to you when she needs a new bag. I know. Yep. I know why. Yep. Okay. Because for you to talk about a shift from being a daddy's girl to all of a sudden just wanting things, do you hear? Oh, was that a phone? Do you hear the call? Oh. Do you hear the call?
Is it in the house?
Is it in the house? I think it might be. So instead of you being like, damn, my daughter is so transactional, or she only want things from me, she only want, why would my daughter only want,
like, you know what I mean? How do we get here? And that's the part that's missing, because when I first watched the first clip of the interview, it didn't say her age. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, it must be a 24, 25-year-old that's kind of decided because they have agency of like, maybe this isn't somebody that I want in my life constantly for whatever reason that may have been. This is how I'm choosing to interact with you. Right. And then when I realized that this was a 10-year-old, it was like, oh, so this is now a different conversation, because
for sure.
I feel like we're also, again, thinking about how Black girls are viewed in our society. They lose the opportunity to be able to develop as other kids develop. Because if I hear somebody that's like, oh, like my child is always asking for stuff. Kids always ask for stuff. That's what they do.
They do that.
That's part of growing up. That's what they do. You know, when they're really little, they're like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, they're all about mommy and daddy, because that's their world. Y'all are their world. They're still really attached to you. Yeah. But as they continue to develop, that shifts. Yeah. They start to be more interested in their peers. Yes. What are my peers wearing? Yep. What are they doing? Where are they going? I want to be accepted by my peers. I already know I got mom and daddy. Yeah. I don't need to keep working for y'all. I got y'all. I'm worried about my peers now. Yep. So for me, once the context was given like a 10-year-old, I was like, oh, this is typical development.
This is literally
this is normal
typical development.
I was like, this is what kids do. There's a reason you walk into the store and like Black parents are like, don't you look at nothing, don't touch nothing, don't ask for nothing, don't like, because they know you're a kid and you're gonna ask for things. Yeah. So why can't she ask for stuff?
And then I feel like I agree so much, because I'm like, I reflected on me being a child. The way that I would bother my parents about BS, I want that shoe. I sure do want that iPod.
It's like, do I need it?
I want the phone. No.
I just want it.
But can I have it?
Exactly. Like if you got, because mind you, even if you're being viewed as an ATM, technically you are their access to money and material. Because
should she go get a job?
At this point, that's what it sounded like. Because babe, she ain't got the card. She ain't got no cash. She can't just whip it out.
To ask?
How is she gonna get there to get the things? Oh, like or if she wasn't asking you, then it would be a problem, because she asking her little friends for things, and now you hearing about it. Now you're upset. Why didn't you come to me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you ask me for this?
Yeah.
And it again goes back to Black girls don't get that same grace to develop as a normal child.
Yeah.
Would they're adultified because you're attributing things that an adult can make a decision to do to a 10-year-old.
Yeah. Like 10-year-olds ask for things, especially in this era where you are on TikTok and girl, trying to feel through TikTok shop ads, trying to even on Instagram kind of move and not see an ad for makeup and skincare and shoes and clothes. Like, hello, just walking around, like she has eyes, she has desires, right? Like,
yeah, she's her own person.
Yeah. And so I think for me, I was so confused as to how, like you said, these very adult traits of like, oh, you're only seeing me as an ATM. Does the child see you as an ATM?
Is that what you're projecting onto her?
Yeah. And I think about how, and I think the thing that upset me about the Shannon Sharpe, or didn't upset me, but like, I was like, dang, I think there was opportunity for more reflection on his part to then kind of answer the question of like, well, why did you notice the shift? Because Shannon immediately goes, oh yeah, man, I feel the same way. My daughter did the same. And I was like, after you gave that girl from that case last year millions of dollars. Okay. Anyways, right. It moves into this, dang, what did you do? Did you have a conversation with your 10-year-old daughter about her looking at you as an AT? Right. As opposed to, you've noticed the shift. What do you think happened?
Yeah.
How do you think you might have changed as a father? Because I also think that like children are smart, but also like children don't just become people who just ask for things and nothing else from you, especially when you described her as a daddy's girl. So there had to be a shift. She adapted to how things changed. Were you there emotionally? Were you there physically? You know what I mean? And so it's like, these are questions that I wish like Shannon would have gotten into.
Yes.
But
I also would have loved to know, like, was there ever a precedent for this? Because one thing we know, when people talk about, oh, I'm a daddy's girl, what daddy do? Daddy gonna get you stuff.
Okay.
Daddy gonna buy you stuff.
Come on, daddy stereotype.
Look,
you know
daddy
what I mean?
gonna take out his wallet and whatever baby girl wants, baby girl gets, because that is my girl.
That's my girl.
So what precedent was set? What did this look like before?
Yeah.
Did you only now notice because you changed in some other ways? And so now it feels different when she's asking because maybe y'all don't feel, you know?
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear those questions.
Yeah. And I also think that you bring up a really good point of like, I think for children, there is a certain point, like going back to when you said like up until a certain age, like children are all about their parents, right? And I also think about like Erikson's kind of stages of development, right?
Exactly.
And like there's a certain point where you are obsessed with mom and dad and da-da-da. But I think that there is an awareness in children where they start to pick up and they're like, I can't really get this from dad. Can't really get that from dad. But I can get a new pair of shoes. And that does keep me connected to dad.
Yes.
Right? Because for her age, I think she's at like the industry versus inferiority stage, right? Which is for children kind of ages 5 to 11, where at this point they're really kind of like building new skills. They're socializing a lot more. And so they're getting out there and like experiencing, and that's really where they build their confidence, right?
Yes.
And for children who experience that stage and parents challenge them and show up and help them kind of build their self-esteem, they come out with all these kind of positive mental health outcomes. So for children who like their parents challenge them and show up for them, they're building new skills, they're interacting with their peers, right? And they're going out there and making mistakes and bouncing back and building that resilience. They are on the positive side kind of building this confidence. They come out with a lot of self-esteem and positive kind of mental health, versus if they come out and they're trying new skills, they're trying to build their confidence and socialize beyond parents, and none of that really connects, they get to a point where they get inferior, right? So they don't build that competence to try and build and be confident. They experience that lower self-esteem, right? And all those kind of depression and anxiety and kind of negative mental health outcomes. And so I thought about, for a young girl, because that's what she is, a young girl in that stage, for her to be trying to build kind of her self-esteem, and then daddy's online talking about transactions and all she see me is for my money. You have then, and then there's a picture of her. So you have then opened her up to so much criticism. Despite maybe you, Mr. Davis, having like all this nuance and context, and you're unpacking this in therapy, right? Everybody else who's in them comments is not doing that. They are calling your daughter a gold digger. There are folks in the comments going, yeah, my daughter the same. I couldn't stand her. I had to cut down. I had to That's what you have opened your daughter up to in a stage where she is building her confidence, learning to socialize, learning to be competent. And for me, I was like, she already is going to experience a world that is racist, sexist, classist, this and that, and that, And unfortunately, the research does state that Black children experience that extremely early. So I'm sure she's already experiencing that, right? And so now you have opened her up to a world who now sees your daughter as a gold digger. When children of race, gender, ask for things and respond to how their parents show up.
No.
As they do.
And they do. Because that part for me, responding to how the parents show up. Because I watched a few more clips from the interview to try to get a little bit more context, try to learn a little bit more. Some of the things, Mr. Davis, I did not want to learn. Mind you, I didn't know who you were before this. I'm sorry.
No shade.
But,
no shade.
Like,
no shade.
I just didn't know who you were.
No shade. Girl.
But some of the stuff I really didn't want to learn. Like the fact that the mother of, I don't know if it's this daughter or another daughter, but only reason she had a child was because you wanted a child, but then you left. But then also in another part of the interview, Shannon Sharpe asked him about happiness. And he's like, when have you felt happiness? How, what's that for you? What do you, and he's like, I don't know. I felt happiness one time in my life. And what would you think that one time would be?
The birth of his daughter.
No. No. It was when he went to, I think it was South America with a cousin. They were on drugs and they were off the grid. So they didn't have access to technology and they were in nature and things were just peaceful and you were away. That was the one time in his life that he shared that he felt happiness. And for you to want your daughter to so badly be a daughter or a daddy's girl again, but yet you don't even feel genuine happiness when y'all are interacting, when y'all are together, when she was born, because you were very clear in that you felt happiness one time in your life. So if that didn't bring you happiness, then why is she expected to now experience you in a way that would make her want to continue to choose to engage in the way that you're asking her to, if you're not even able to connect with her in that way?
Like, she was a daddy's girl, but were you a girl dad?
Oh, now that's the question.
Hello. That's why, so many thoughts. I feel like for me, I don't fault parents who talk about like having happy memories or their happiest experiences being something outside of parenthood. But I do agree that it's like, you have this standard that like, wow, my daughter should look at me like, because he talked about his son and like, my son thinks I'm a superhero. Right? And it's like, don't expect then for you to be the brightest light in your daughter's life and she not the brightest light in your life. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And putting these expectations on a 10-year-old who is figuring out life, who has only been here for 10 turbulent years, child. Because if that means she was born in like 2016. Like, so she experienced, like, she didn't even experience real fun life for real. Like, it's really, she got here when Trump got here, girl. No, literally, she didn't even get Obama, like she got Trump, like you know what I mean. So like, think about that.
Give us some time.
Just give her just a little bit of time, okay? But I'm also like, yeah, like don't have these like, okay, this is gonna be a little, but I do think that like having children is a very selfish act, right? And it's selfish in that like you want to have this person here, therefore you create them, right? They have no say.
Yeah.
And so then there has to be like an unconditional kind of positive regard, love that you have for your children since you brought them here.
Yeah.
Mind you, she didn't even ask to be here low key. So why she can't get the bag? Why she can't get the bag? Why she can't get a little Lululemon? Why she can't go see Gracie's Corner? I don't know what 10-year-olds do low key. Why she can't get the new iPhone or the new iPad? Huh? You know?
Because when we're thinking about Black kids and we're thinking about Black girls in particular,
yeah,
they want Black girls to, how do I say it? They want Black girls to be, on one hand, overly gracious, like, oh, I didn't deserve this. So I'm glad that you even thought enough of me to give me this thing.
Yeah.
But also, there was this point in the interview where he's talking about experiences with mom. And he's talking about how mom stuck around for stuff that he was like, I would have never stuck around for.
Yeah.
He said, I then put women through those same things.
Yeah.
And I lost respect for them and seeing how they stuck around with me in the things I was putting them through.
Yeah.
And there's this idea of Black womanhood and Black girlhood and struggle going hand in hand. And him and Shannon Sharpe have this conversation of she doesn't know how good she has it. Other kids.
Why should she?
She was born into this. Again, she didn't choose.
Yeah.
But, she will never know how good she has it. She's homeschooled and other kids don't get to be homeschooled and other kids don't get to have this and don't get to have that. And so they don't understand. And in denying her this is kind of a way, in my opinion, of trying to make her see that struggle. And understand you don't have to have this. Life doesn't have to be this good.
Yeah.
But if she was born into this, and this is a life you've given her and that she's become accustomed to, why should she have to see the other side?
Yeah.
Isn't part of, the thing you hear parents say so often is, I want to give my child the life that I didn't get to have.
Yeah.
But why is it then that if they get to have that life that they also, and particularly for Black girls, because as we kind of talked about in our last episode, it's a little bit different for Black boys.
Yeah.
Why is it that the Black girls really have to be humble when it comes to this? And again, she's only 10.
Yeah.
She's only 10.
Like she has time to learn to be humble and gracious and, learn gratitude and all these things. But I also believe that like children should experience some bliss. Like they should just get to experience childhood. Right. And so, and also this confusion about like, wow, where's the shift from and how she's asking me for things. It's kind of your job as her parent to like teach her all the other traits. You know what I mean? Like you confused, I'm confused too.
Exactly. Like,
you know what I mean? No shade. Like no tea, no shade. Like you confused, I'm confused. Because those are the things that like you have to do as the parent.
Yeah.
It's something you have to unpack, diva. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will say something that, I had to then sit with because I think beyond the shock and then beyond, also then, I'm be honest, I felt for him a little bit, right? In the sense that,
because mind you, I did not. He was giving crocodile tears, and I was sitting there. I was like, I feel like you're trying to garner sympathy from me, and I have none to give you. Jesus. But I'm listening.
But but listen. Okay, so I feel like I sat with the fact that because throughout the clips, you can tell that he's tried to unlearn and unpack and. He's talked about going to therapy and right? And I feel like what was showing up for me and which is why I do think I wish he would have had another interviewer who would have pushed it a little bit deeper. But thinking about, like, it seemed like for him, he talked about, like, when like, she was my motivation, and like she pushed me to go harder, and I wanted to be such a good dad so she wouldn't think that I was mediocre, so then she wouldn't go after mediocre men. And I think in what he's talking about, but may not have the language or may not have said explicitly, was the grief of, I don't think I did that good of a job. Right? Like, I didn't end up being the dad who she comes to potentially for when she needs safety, when she needs to talk through things. She doesn't just come and like have conversations with me or text me all day when she's at school or whatever, or when she's with mom or whatever. Right? And I think there's heartbreak and there's grief there, but I don't think that Shannon had the wherewithal to go there with him. He just went, dang, your daughter be asking you for stuff. That mine too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So maybe with more opportunity,
yes,
he could have maybe given a little bit more of his story.
Yes. Like, I wonder if he was really trying to, or he's trying to come to terms with the fact that, like, okay, like, these are my shortcomings in the relationship.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not sure where to go.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got here. You know, but it didn't get there.
Yeah.
And so I feel like for me, I think that's where I was sitting with that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I understand what he's saying. But then from there, I think the things that kind of took me back a little bit was him talking about, like, his relationships with women. Yeah. Right. And once again, I feel like there seems like there's work done. Like, he goes to therapy and he's reflected and unpacked and trying to understand. Yeah. When he does talk about dating women and treating them bad, he talks about how, you know, that was because I watched my mom. You know, he kind of blames it on mom. Is there a mention of dad who treated mom bad? No. Is there, you know what I mean?
If not.
Also, it should be important to note, mother was 13. 13 when she had her first child, in it. Okay. He mentions mother and father had an inappropriate age gap. He does not tell us what it is.
Okay. Okay. So we're hearing some explanation.
You mad at your mama for staying with daddy? She was 13.
She was 13. She was a child. Again.
She was 13. And I feel like that's where some of that sexism and misogyny be coming in. Yeah. I feel like there's a tinge of, like, misogyny in when he was talking about, like, just his relationship with his mother, in that I feel like there was just kind of all of these expectations that he had for his mother to perform motherhood at 13 as a victim of his father. Right? Exploited by this man who is wildly older than her, right? In a relationship where she's not being treated well. Yeah. And it's abusive in the sense of, like, you have you know, you have so much more power because you're so much older, you know so much more. And what else was she to do but stay with the man that she has known since 13?
Exactly. Because that's such a formative time in your life. Like, you're literally a child. You're a child, you're still figuring out the world, you're still figuring out your life, who you are, and now you have this child that you have to take care of. And so when you're thinking about stability, needing to be able to survive in this world.
Like, and then he described how his mother then went on to have 4 children back to back to back. And so where is one, like, grace for your mother who is trying to unpack a world where she was the victim to your father? But on the flip side, it's kind of like, you know, and I was just hanging out with my dad, shout out my dad and his and my stepmama. Your dad with the inappropriate age gap
that we're not
with your mom
holding accountable, but we're giving all the blame to mom.
You know what I mean? So where are all these kind of big expectations for who your dad should have been as someone who has inappropriate relationships with minors? Your mom was 3 years older than your child is right now.
But you're placing all those expectations on the both of them.
And he like kind of trying to, and once again, I think the humanity in it is like he's trying to unpack and and try to be understanding of who his mom is and what she's been through. And there seems to be some understanding, but it's kind of, I feel like that's the part of misogyny that gets me, or sexism that gets me, especially from men, is it's like, I understand, but I still,
it's not getting all the way there.
It's not all the way there.
Yeah, it's like we're on the road. We're our destination is in the GPS.
Yes.
We know where we're going.
Yeah.
But for some reason there's a roadblock.
Yeah.
And you can't see the way around it.
Because mama should have been like, I understand he deserved a mother. But also she was 13.
She was 13. Right? And
she was taken advantage of.
Uh-huh.
And I think there's a lot to come to terms with in that sense. But I think that whenever I see like men have just so much expectation, or so they want for their moms to show up and figure it out and do better and da-da-da. But I never hear that for their fathers as well. And I think then we see that play out in how he's trying to learn to be and unpack that as well.
Yes.
So I just think it's a blend, and I think it's all interesting. But I also think about like, there's a part of me that feels like this conversation is so vulnerable for us to even be sitting here and unpacking this,
and to be witnessed too.
Yeah, because I feel like all his feelings are valid. But then you've kind of left us in a place where we can unpack and talk about these things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it ain't all good.
Sometimes it's not all good, because now, you know, we're sitting here and we're witnessing this. We're witnessing this conversation that he's having with Shannon Sharpe. And we are hearing bits and pieces that are coming in that are now informing our perceptions of this conversation, our opinions about what's happening, why this is happening, and everything in between. Yeah. And what we see is then like people on TikTok now, they have their theories. And one of the theories that I saw was very Freudian and how it really came up, which I'm not really a fan of Freud. He was a little funky, a little weird.
Hold on, but sometimes what he be saying, I be seeing people and I'm like, you proving that man right. I don't know.
And that be the problem for me. It's like his stuff was so out there.
And I'm looking at you, boy moms.
Woo?
You know what I mean? Like, I'll be like,
yeah.
You be talking about y'all?
Yeah. So it's like he did have something to say. He wasn't completely invalid.
He did say what he said.
But one of the takes was it was very Freudian in the sense that she was talking about how certain fathers may decide how they treat their child based on how their child looks, how attractive they may find their child. Does this deem them worthy now to be able to ask for the things that they want, to be able to live this softer life? Or do I feel like that don't deserve that? And she was also saying how not only is it based on how attractive they may be, but how much do they look like maybe the mother, how much they look like the father in this. And so it was a different take. Yeah. It was a very different take. But like you said, it opens up us being able to witness this in this way. And I think in the way that his conversation went down in particular, because you could see him going back and forth and kind of around as he's like trying to process as he's talking and as he's having this conversation. But sometimes when we are in that process of processing, we are in a space that is so vulnerable and that's so open. Yes. And when we are still kind of baking what to come up with, what we're trying to understand, what we're trying to figure out, when we put the ingredients together, but it's not done in the oven yet. Yeah. It really does. Not only is it opening him up to this being picked apart. Yeah. But it also opened up his daughter, which was something that was really as much of as important conversation this is. It's not fair for her. Yeah. Being so young.
Yeah. And he's opened her up to, once again, people having so many opinions. That's where, like, because in the video, he doesn't refer to his daughter as a gold digger, nor does Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
But then that became like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, oh my God, he's referring to her as a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so now we have people online referring to a 10-year-old child, a young Black girl who is in her stage of development where she's developing her confidence and her competence. She's now being referred to as online as a gold digger.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have now put your business on Front Street. So I think I'm holding both, like, these are important conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that this will help people maybe think about things more.
Yeah.
But also, these are like real people.
Yes.
Her face is on the end, like, you know what I mean? So once again, it's like, and then he had this very vulnerable conversation with somebody who just wasn't able to hold him or support him or push him further.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like you said, these kind of things that are baking are still baking because Shannon Sharpe don't know what to do with the damn oven.
Exactly.
Sorry.
He don't know the setting. He don't know what he's supposed to be.
He in the kitchen going, rrr, rrr, rrr.
Look, he over there peeking at the pot. Mind you, close the oven. Close the oven.
Get about the kitchen, brother. Please. So it's, and going back to that video, I do want to say, because I did see that video and at first I was like, wait a minute. But there is research that does talk about the halo effect and how that doesn't only apply to attractive, like, adults, but that also, like, what is the word? What word did I just use?
Yeah, it applies.
Applies. There we go. I was like, the word just left me. But it does apply to children, and not attractive in the sense that, like, ooh, that's a fine baby. Ooh, oh, that little boy so fine. No, in the sense of, like, that little boy or that little girl is considered cute.
Yeah.
They are very pretty, beautiful child, right? And so there is research that does indicate that those children may have it easier. They might be they will be considered children who are nicer.
Yeah.
They will receive better feedback. They'll just overall be treated better by the adults around them.
Yeah.
Versus children who are not considered, quote unquote, cute or beautiful. And so I did see that video and I was like, ooh, this is what it takes. You do have to consider a lot, though.
It is a bold take.
It is a bold take.
And I appreciate that she said it with her chest.
She did say it with her chest. I was like, well,
you know,
right now, girl,
we gonna get out there.
You know,
she got out there. She said what she had to say.
Yeah, and then thinking back to, he has then used this picture, or like they have posted a picture of his child. You have then opened her up to having her appearance evaluated. Yeah, right. And I think another aspect, because I feel like I empathize a lot with what Ryan is trying to come to terms with.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also thinking about how Black girls just deserve to be protected. They deserve to grow up in privacy and not be scrutinized as they're learning to become. Yeah. You know, they get to learn and make mistakes and develop new skills, and it don't got to be everybody's business. Like, you low-key did not tell us, and then show us your daughter. Yeah. And tell us how all she do is hit you up when she need new shoes. Like, oh God. Yep. And then there's no reflection on your end about, here's where I think I contributed to that.
Yes. No, it's very much, this is the situation that's happening, but we're not turning that mirror inward. Yeah. We've just kind of pointed at the girl, and it's like, well, I don't know, this is how this changed, and this is what I've noticed. But there's no, well, what did I do that contributed to this? How did I either influence this? Is this a precedent that I've already set? Is this something that has shifted and changed that I've noticed? And it's like, well, maybe I should inquire. Yeah. Figure out, like, okay, look inward. Yeah. What have I done differently that maybe caused this to shift and change? Yeah. Like, there wasn't any of that examination that happened, which I think is another part of these conversations that can be dangerous. Yeah. Because when you're having these conversations, there needs to be, we got to be able to see both sides of, okay, this thing happened. because even as I'll say, even as a therapist, one thing that we have to tell our clients that they don't always realize, especially if you're just coming into therapy, is that your therapist is not a yes man. And we're not here to just kind of sit there and be like, oh yeah, everybody else around you has always been wrong. Part of our job is to hold up that mirror. And to say like, okay, well, how might you have contributed to this too? And there are certain situations, it's not every situation in which you contributed to that. And so let's recognize that. But there are some situations in which, we ourselves have contributed to the pain that we've experienced. I've been in situations where I've contributed to the pain that I've experienced. And we have to be able to take that step back. And that's part of what therapy does. It helps us take that step back to be able to see, well, what did I like, what role did I play in this? Essentially. And what role am I continuing to play in this? And is this the role that I want to continue to play moving forward? And there wasn't any of kind of that thought and that awareness.
Especially I think when he was talking about like his relationship with his daughter and like her current presentation. Because, your daughter's not a grown woman, like has all her like senses and like she is not reaching out to you and like is consciously knowing like, oh, I can only talk to my dad for that. So he's just my ATM, you know? So there's a lot of in the relationship. You do have to reflect.
You do.
Because why did your child go from daddy's girl to now, quote unquote, as Shannon Sharpe said, seeing you as an ATM, right? And I think there just needed to be more investigation for him into the part he played.
No, there definitely needed to be more investigation, especially as the interview was going. And seeing different bits and pieces that I saw. And again, I didn't watch the whole thing. So
couldn't do it.
This is me, child. This is me admitting I have not watched that whole. It was almost 3 hours. I'm sorry. I don't have.
And they talked about everything.
Everything under the sun.
Eddie Murphy. Gatekeeping. I said, my God, y'all are touching all the topics.
No, literally.
My mama trauma. My daddy. My daughter.
Literally everything under the sun.
Shoes.
Came up. And so at one point in the conversation, they're talking about custody. And they're talking about him talking to the mother of his child as they're trying to negotiate custody and like what that's going to look like. And one thing that he said, and I wrote this down because I wanted to take the words that he said. He said, you had so much on the first half, let me get more on the back end. And he was referring to time. Being able to have more time to spend with his child. And that for me, so that's one part. That's let me give you the second part so the second part, he then also talks about his daughter. So he was able to kind of take a moment and reflect on, okay, well, maybe why is she not spending this time with me that I want her to spend? And he again said that she has this fear of giving her all to me than it being taken. And for me, as I'm hearing that being shared and I'm listening to what he's saying, there's this acknowledgement and this ability again that he's able to recognize that there is that he has played a role. He's recognizing that he's played a role and that she may genuinely have a fear of opening up in a certain way or showing up in a certain way. Maybe it hasn't been reciprocated in the way that she needed. Maybe he hasn't been there. I don't know. I don't know his history. But the way that he speaks, it sounds like he hasn't always been the most present. And now he's wanting that extra time. He's wanting time to make up for who he maybe hadn't become or he wasn't. And so when you talked about him grieving being the father that he hoped that maybe he had become, but maybe kind of realizing maybe I didn't become the person that I was hoping to become when my daughter was born. So it reminds me of that thought of that maybe some of that's coming into play, and him recognizing that I have harmed in some way, but again, not having the proper person sitting across from him to really facilitate that conversation, and do it in a way that can actually hold someone's vulnerabilities.
Yes.
Because I think part of the reason I had such a hard time really sitting with some of the empathy that would come up is, and I don't necessarily want to say it's not the laughter that came with it in particular. But it's the way that, like, now it feels like we're playing it off. But because I'm very much a big fan of being able to use laughter in times when it's hard and difficult. So that's not what I'm saying, but the way it felt like it was done, in which it just didn't feel like the things were taken seriously, and it was very much turned into these lighthearted, like, oh, well, this is just part of the interview. This is just life as a dad. What, and not like, oh no, this person's actually hurting.
Yeah.
And this is a real person that is really feeling and like sharing out about their lives in a way that it is very vulnerable to watch.
Yeah. I agree. It was, I feel like that came up for me as well. And I had to keep reminding myself, he's a comedian. This is his show. Because of how vulnerable it was, and then things would just be laughed off. Like, especially when he was talking about kind of like treating women badly, and like, oh my God, why would you stay with me? I would have never stayed with never stayed with me. Somebody do me like that.
Why?
Mind you, you should be in jail. Just kidding. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, watch it. Watch it. Okay? Just be careful. All right? Keep it so cute. So I don't know. It was I think for me, it was such a great conversation starter about Black fatherhood.
Yeah.
And all that, and all of people's experiences, and even trying to rectify. And something that even came to mind as you were talking is like him trying to then come on the back end years later and wanting his daughter to then continue to be a daddy's girl. You owe that girl some shoes. You do. You do owe that girl some Lululemon. You owe her a Coach bag. You do owe her those kid face masks. You do owe her the nail polish. You do owe her another day at the spa. What you mean you coming on the back end? You owe that girl. You do.
Like, literally.
You do. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Because the research, so one thing when I was looking into the research about, parenting, and specifically like Black fatherhood and Black father-daughter relationships, right? Obviously, stereotype is the dads are not in the homes.
The glasses.
According to Jones and Mosher, Black fathers, 70%, were most likely to have bathed, dressed, diapered, or helped their children use the toilet every day compared to white Hispanic fathers. Okay? So the study involved over 3,900 fathers between 2006 to 2010, and found that Black fathers are more likely to have helped their children get ready for the day. Over the last 2 decades, research suggests that Black fathers play a significant role as breadwinners, disciplinarians, and protectors of the family, indicating a potential reversal of negative stereotypes. So not every day, no fathers in the homes.
Exactly.
Okay? There are fathers in the homes. Right? And the research that talks about kind of Black father and daughter relationships emphasizes how important Black fathers are to their Black daughters.
Yes.
Right? And so studies have showed that, Black fathers' connectedness with their daughters lowers levels of externalized behaviors. So when we think about that, we think about like children who might be getting in a lot of trouble, right? They're very loud. They're not listening. They're all over the place, right? and also thinking about lower levels of depression and anxiety in children. And so these were attributed to Black fathers' emotional responsiveness, communication, and engagement with their Black daughters, right? And so when we're talking about like a Black father being present, if your daughter is then only reaching out to you because she wants things from you, as her father, you do owe her those things. But I think that's the things that she thinks she can get from you.
Yeah.
Okay? Because otherwise, the Black daughters with Black fathers who are emotionally responsive, they communicate, they engage with their daughters beyond maybe like just texting them every other day. We do see that there are these very positive outcomes when we look at their academic achievements, their self-esteem, their ability to connect with other people,
their identity as a Black woman.
Right? And so that relationship shapes all of that. And in a study, so that was a study by Miller and colleagues, but actually in a study by, who is this? By Johnson.
2013.
Yes. Right? Okay. So she talks about how like Black father-daughter relationships are places where Black girls and Black women then learn how to kind of navigate their femininity, their strength, and even just interacting in heterosexual kind of situations, right? So when we're thinking about dad is in my life, so I'm dealing with this man, I could go to dad and ask him like, what's going on? You know, you give me an insight on manhood and like me interacting with this man. You give me the ins and outs and all of that. And so there is all of this support that shows that like Black fathers are incredibly important, and some of them are present.
Yeah.
And when I say some, it's given most.
Yeah.
And when we're looking at other races, okay.
This ain't Mythbusters.
So So enough of that deadbeat stuff. But I think it's also very important, if you are going to do the work, if you want the kids, do the work to like all of this unpacking and therapy and you should did that way before that baby got here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been online calling her a gold digger.
Yeah.
All right. So do the work that you have to do so you can show up for your daughter and your son, and show up for them in more ways than just financially.
Because Black fathers are so important and so impactful on the lives of their children.
Yes. So impactful. And then you have a daughter who can come to you because she feels emotionally safe with you.
Yeah.
She feels that she can share her hobbies and her interests with you. Because children want their parents. Like,
they do.
They do.
They love to chit chat about the stuff that they got going on. And especially at that time, in that age, like we were talking about Erikson's stages earlier. In that stage, when they're developing those skills, that's when they're starting to develop and be able to say, I am good at this. I am good at that's a big part of their identity and who they are and how they present themselves to the world.
Yeah.
They want to be able to share that with you.
Yeah. And daddy reinforces that. And then I build my confidence.
Yes.
I feel competent. And therefore, I go out and try and do more.
Yes.
And so I think, unfortunately, this is kind of no, I'm not going to say unfortunate, but this is an example of one of those cases where it's like, oh, it's not a great example.
Yeah.
Like, it's not giving a tally under, present father. But you're trying, diva.
Yep. Growth is always good, and we can continue to grow, own our mistakes.
Yeah.
Go to therapy, keep consolidating and learning and doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I will say that for him to get on that interview and share about all these very vulnerable things and showing up and being honest.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Yeah. More to you, girl.
Everybody can't do it.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do it. Everybody's not willing to be that open.
Yeah.
So that's a check in the right direction.
Yeah. It is. I just wish you didn't go to somebody who had to shelf over millions of dollars in a lawsuit last year for an inappropriate relationship, but then told his daughter for her wedding that he would only give her $30,000. So you was sitting across from a man who don't like to give nothing to his daughter.
And he just saying, you're right.
Girl, you was like, I hate when they make me feel like this. You should have went to, I don't know, Dr. Wendy. Dr. Wendy or Suffolk. Like, you should have, like, who else? He could have talked to? What's that lady who was on Cam Newton's show? Dr. I don't even know if she was doctor. Someone.
Yeah.
You could have came here.
We would have chit chat with you.
You know, you could have went to therapy. Well, it's therapy for Black girls, but there's space for you somewhere.
Yeah, there's one for Black men too.
You know,
yeah, there's like a directory out there.
Yeah, but you should have went to somebody who could have held you and pushed you.
Good babes.
And would have
been big on the push.
Yeah,
because that's such an important part.
Somebody
we got to be able to hold and push at the same time.
Yeah, you over there. She looking at you like an ATM.
Oh my goodness.
Have you said all you've needed to say?
I have. Have you?
Well, what's your tea? Can we help you with a theory? Send us your tea through our email, teaandtheorypodcast@gmail.com. Or you can even send us a DM on our Instagram @teaandtheorypodcast. And follow us on all our socials @teaandtheorypodcast. Hello.
Right now.
We on TikTok, on Instagram.
Come hang out with us.
Come hang out, girl. Come on. Come sit on the couch.
Yes.
Space for you. Okay, sorry. Ciao. And as always, at the end of every episode, Quenisha will lead a meditation and some words of affirmation.
Yes.
Girl, but you ain't rusty though.
I ain't.
You ain't rusty though.
You know, I stay ready.
Period.
I stay ready.
Yeah.
So, as always, go ahead, find your comfortable position. Maybe you want to lay down. Maybe you're comfortable with sitting up, feet flat on the ground. And when you are ready, and only when you're ready, you can begin to slowly allow your eyes to drift closed. And if you're not comfortable, you can just let your gaze soften. Take this time to really deepen your breath, breathing deep into your belly, allowing yourself to settle in to this moment. Give yourself this gift of time and peace and presence. As you are taking slow inhales and exhales on your time, I want to invite you to turn in. Today, we are honoring our inner Black girl. She's always with us, even as we grow, as we age, as we lose bits and pieces of who we are. You never truly lose her. She's always with you, watching and hanging out and celebrating with you. Take this time to really imagine times where you just felt free as a child. Times where you felt you could just be you, be in your own world, loved, accepted, held. Allow her to just live in that moment, free from any worries, any concerns, anything that has come since. Allow her to be free of responsibility. Our inner child is always there with us, rooting us on, holding us when times get hard, encouraging us to let go, be free, be open, just be. Embrace her in this moment. because she's never left, always faithful. In this time, I'm going to share 3 affirmations that you can say to your younger self. I love who we've always been. I love who we've always been. I am never alone. I am never alone. I cherish you. I cherish you. Allow a moment just for those to really sink in. Share this moment with your inner child. Ready? You can set her off to just go play, enjoy herself, and continue to be free. And you can start wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe you turn your head side to side, just bringing gentle movements back into the body. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Join us back here on the couch. We are so glad, again, as always, to have y'all here with us, joining us for another episode 9, first of 2026. So we're so excited to keep going on this journey with y'all, and we will see you next time. Bye.